The number you have dialed.
IMA-GIN. Ready to create utopia.
Wow, that's a good question. I think people are becoming more conscious about what's going on around them because the internet has brought people very close to information. I think people are becoming a little bit more cynical. They're not believing exactly what the politicians and the leaders are telling them. I think people are becoming more intelligent about making up their own minds about what's going on in the world. They have the power now through the internet to find out information very, very quickly. I think for me personally, there's a groundswell of people that are very interested in spiritual ideas because people are becoming very conscious that they've attained. We've never been so wealthy in this hemisphere. People have got cars, they've got their houses, they've got their lifestyles, and people are looking for more now. And I think people are realising that having things isn't making them happy. That happiness is within, and they're searching for that. I think that's why people like me are becoming more acceptable. Possibly also, I wouldn't say we're becoming more famous, but people are wanting to know more about what we're about. I mean, I always joke that 100 years ago I'd been a mental institution, and 200 years ago I would have been burnt at the stake. I think people are much more interested in what's going on around them. They want answers, but they also want to make up their own minds. Well, I think you have to be very, very careful of positive thinking. Now, a lot of positive thinkers say that if you're focused and you put your mind to something, there's nothing you cannot achieve. What I say to a positive thinker is, these people who have made a lot of money out of seminars, etc., give me all your money and let's see how positive you are. I think everyone has a level of attainment. We have to sometimes be realistic about the dreams that we follow. I think we all have natural abilities, and I think it's about finding what our true vocation is. And what I mean by that is, I'd like to play soccer. If I spent a week with David Beckham, I think I'd become a better soccer player, but no way would I ever get into the Ajax team or to play for PSV. So I think there's a realism in what you do. I think if you're unhappy in your job and you have the power to change it, try and do so. But be very realistic. We're here today because people have become become homeless. People have become in desperate situations in Haiti, and we should be very, very lucky that we have, a society whereby we can, we have power, we have water, we have food, plentiful food, and we have the ability to do what we want to do. So I think you have to get to a realism about the lifestyle that you have, and then think about moving on to the next level. There's no point of giving yourself goals that you're never ever going to reach. That's just not realistic. No, for me, there's a natural flow of energy in the world, and things happen. You have to be realistic about that. I mean, a couple of thousand years ago, they would have said it was the gods weren't happy. If we were in Rome, they would have said the gods weren't happy with us if something had happened. I think there are, we live in a world and the planet is moving, revolving. It has faults, and things are going to happen within the world. And it's unfortunate that in certain countries, like America, especially around the LA, where you've got faults in the Earth's crust, and you get a lot of San Francisco, you get earthquakes, etc. So I don't say it's any retribution from God. Absolutely not. I think there's natural things that happen in the world, and we have to do our best. Those people who have the power have to do the best to help those people who are in jeopardy, who are having problems. And that's one of the reasons I'm here tonight, to do a little tiny amount, just a little bit to help. It's about making people aware that they can help. That's what I'm really here for. If someone buys a ticket to come to one of my shows, or someone calls up today and pledges some money, it's giving them the power to make changes. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I think I'd like to see people more open to change. I'd like to see people more open to giving of themselves. It doesn't mean giving money, it means giving of themselves. I've noticed, I was talking to my mum the other day, and I was remembering when I was growing up, I grew up in a council estate, an estate that was owned by the government, and my parents paid rent in the house that we lived. And everyone knew everyone else, and there was a sense of community. And I've noticed as I've grown up, and I'm now in my 40s, that is missing. My mum has moved, and where she's moved to, there's not a sense of community. People seem to be more conscious of keeping themselves to themselves. Now, I don't know if that's because everyone's working and they don't have time to spend with their neighbours, but I would like to see a society that people were interacting more with each other, and were a little bit more positive about helping. And that only comes when people are comfortable with the situation they are in. It's very easy to say, if you're very rich, it's easy to give. But when you're struggling, it isn't so easy. But if you're struggling, those who can see you struggling maybe should be helping you a little bit more. And I'm not being a communist or anything like that. I'm just saying that we all can do a little bit more, I think. For me, what I'm doing is hopefully opening people's minds to realising what they can achieve through being conscious of the energy they have and conscious of what's around them. You know, as much as I'm a medium, I'm also working with people who are healers, people who are conscious of energy. And you know, you can do so much just with a smile. You try it. You try go on a tram and just give us a... Now, what may happen is people might think you're a lunatic because they're not used to people smiling all the time. But you see, just giving that little bit of extra. Don't get so angry if someone cuts you up in the car. Allow them to do it, because that's their karma. Give out more positive energy, and if you've got a problem, talk to your partner about it, because by holding that energy in is not good for us, and ultimately we're going to express that energy in a way that's very, very negative. People who hurt people. Be very conscious of that. Treat people how you would like to be treated. That's the way I've always been brought up. Be very honest with people. Well, as honest as you can be, and give as much love out to people as possible.
Any other questions? Thank you.